I'm open.
I'm
I'm open.
open.
He's open. Special guest, Kyle. You want to introduce yourself to the podcast?
Sure. My name is Kyle. I played Frisbee in college with all these guys. I don't know what we're talking about today, so I'm excited to find out. I got kind of roped in last minute here. So,
Exactly. Yeah. Well, today is kind of our extra long dump. We've been gone for a while.
hmm
Season ended, and we all kind of had lives and different time zones and things happening. But we wanted to record an episode to just talk about just overall what's been going on since. Um,
hmm
just talk about all things flat ball.
Yeah. So it's been 3 weeks since our last episode, and it feels like longer, but I guess 3 weeks is kind of a long time.
Wow, that it
Um,
does feel like longer.
yeah. But yeah, so since then, well, first Joe and I went to the Empire Championship celebration party.
oh
Um,
yeah, how was that?
that was it was crazy. So it was at the owner's house, which is like um just over the border into Connecticut from New York, and it's like right on the Long Island Sound or whatever that body of water is. Um, Super nice house. Joe and I got there like right when it started, obviously, so we were like some of the first people there. Um, so but no, it was great. Luckily, the coaches got there pretty early, and since we, know them a little more than most of the other people, they were able to like kind of break the ice for us. But no, the highlight was, so there was an open bar, so we were, a few drinks in. It was later in the evening, and Ethan Fortin shows up, right? And so he's at the buffet or whatever getting food, and me and Joe are just standing there looking at him, and we're like, he has the best ass I've ever seen in my life. Like it was, yeah, I can't even overstate it. It was beautiful. Well, Camilo, I'm telling the story about Ethan Fortin's butt. Uh,
Nice.
so we were standing there, like however many drinks in, we were like, oh, should we tell him? We were like, yeah. So we like walk
Of
up,
course.
and he was like in the middle of a conversation, so we weren't gonna like interrupt him and tell him. But I was like, I gotta tell somebody. So I just pulled out my phone. I tweeted it. I think Ethan Fortin has the nicest ass I've ever seen. And then so a little later in the night, we were in like this big circle conversation, and he was standing on my left, and we were just talking about whatever. And then he like checks his phone, and then he like looks at it, and then he shows it to me. And someone had sent him the tweet that I tweeted about his nice ass, and he was like, "Thanks, man."
Oh
um,
man.
but I
Wow.
mean, you guys should have seen it. Should have taken a picture.
Was
Damn.
there any good stories from that weekend besides that? It was you guys were probably there for a while. I thought it was only a few hours, but it sounds like you got there early and stayed till into.
No, yeah. We were there for a good bit. Had a lot of good conversations with Matt Stevens, and then the owners of the team, and then the coaches. Most of it, everything fun they said, they were like, okay, don't tell anyone this. So I can't say most of it. I talked to Marquez Brownlee for a bit about he got a new house. There's something something metal under his front yard that they have to get inspected or something.
Mm.
So
Like a
that's
lost
fun.
treasure or like a
Well,
pipe.
he said it was like a big rectangle.
It could be
Um,
a grease interceptor.
it could be. Um they were looking for like, I don't know, there's something you're supposed to look for. He told me, but I forget. And it wasn't that thing. So then they called us inspector, and the guy's like, "Yep, it's not that thing. So bye." So then he was like, he just doesn't know what it is.
Oh man.
Um, but I mean, that
It's
was
like a box with like a body inside of it.
I hope not, but maybe he'll make a YouTube video about it or something.
Oh god.
Well, okay, if
The
you like bought a
unboxing.
The unboxing.
if you bought a mansion, would you? I feel like it'd be kind of cool if there was like a body buried underneath. Like I feel like that
Yeah.
raises your home value at a certain point.
For sure.
Yeah, I could see
If
that.
it's a nice house already and you've got a body, then
I
There's
think
probably-
it could go either way. Kyle. It could
well, yeah, I
either-
feel like if it's not a very nice house and there's a body, then that probably lowers the value of it. But if it's like an upscale house already, then it's probably like some aristocrat that died in like some sort of intrigue. So
There could be buried treasure along with it.
That'd be sick.
exactly.
Andrew, I have to say, your new background is amazing. Like you
I've been
decorated.
dying. I've been
It's-
dying for someone to comment on that.
It's
Thank you.
unbelievable. Like I can't stop staring at it. It's the lighting, the background, like everything on the wall. Like it's beautiful.
I mean, step it up, guys. That's all I gotta say. I've made my play. Balls in
Hey,
your court.
I'm moving, so I'm taking everything down.
Oh,
not
you're
fair.
right. You're moving soon. Yeah, so I moved yesterday. So I put up, stuff today. The good thing is that like I did my like Zoom background wall decorations, and then the other half is like very undecorated. But so
Perfect.
I'm living a lie. And yeah. But yeah, I moved yesterday. It was pretty easy. I got rid of like all my furniture. I was so stressed about like because I'm moving into a place that like already 3 people were like living there, and there's like furniture and stuff. So I just like got rid of all my stuff, listed it on Facebook Marketplace for free. I was just like, please come take it. And it was a bunch of like, crappy furniture from college that I still had that, I needed to move on from anyway. So just brought what I could fit in a bedroom, which was nice. But yeah. Pretty stoked. And I had this like a Jazz Fest poster right here that I never like hung up at my old house, just because I was like, I don't know why, I probably should have, but I was like, this is
Yeah,
so
looks
cool. And I don't want to put it in the wrong place. So now I'm like, this is my like Zoom background flex, just like boom. And so I'm waiting for the first person to be like, is that a Jazz Fest poster? Like so I'll be waiting for that. But anyway.
Maybe we'll get some comments.
Yeah, hopefully maybe at work tomorrow. Probably
Yeah.
not. Probably not. Probably never.
Anyway,
Anyway,
that's awesome.
thank
Shout
you,
out
man.
Shout out to Charlie Hops, who just tweeted at us saying he's proud of me, and I've never felt this good in a while, so I'm very happy.
Is this
Whatever
laser
is he-
tag?
Whatever is he proud of you for?
So he played laser tag, and I told him I was playing laser tag, and then I showed the scoreboard. I started out in third in the first game, then I got second, and then I crawled my way, finished number 1 in the final game.
Whoa!
So proud.
Wow.
I was
impressive.
murking these kids. Like, oh my God, there was this one dad with 3 kids, and they would just like fall in a line. They would just like come up the stairs. I'm just like, boom, 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 4 kills right there every time.
Do you know what I did? I actually played laser tag last week because
That was you. Okay.
Yeah. So my former roommate, it was like one of his last things before he moved. He was like, we're playing laser tag. Like I was like, all right, whatever, we'll play. And we went to the place, and there were more people than they had like vests and guns for like my round. And I was just kind of like, I wasn't very enthusiastic. I was kind of like, I'm here, whatever. And then all the average age of the player was probably like 10. Like we were and then all the kids like run and grab their vests, and the like dude who's running the thing just like hands me the gun. And so like I have no vest on, so it's like you can still hit the gun, but
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like OP as fuck. I was mowing people down. And then like as I get into it, I'm like standing there, and some guys like, yo, you want to storm the tower? And I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Like,
Oh my God.
I got very into it. I think I placed like, I was in the top 10 both times, I think, but it
For
was also not very fair.
Laser tag is so much fun. Highly recommend it to
really
all our
fun.
listeners out there.
I was totally I see the light now. It was really fun.
My Boy Scout troop used to do a laser tag outing. Like we were an alternative troop. We didn't go camping that often. We had we had like a pool outing where we would stay overnight at the pool, and the laser tag outing, we wouldn't sleep. We would literally stay up all night from like 11 to 5 a.m. or like 6 a.m. whenever our parents picked us up, and just play laser tag like through the night and stay
That's
up. Just
awesome.
get like delirious, like playing laser tag. Very fun. Very fun. I need to go. I haven't gone in a while.
Man, I'm going back. I'll tell you that. And there was also like a daiquiri place like really close to it. So
yeah.
I think next time I'm gonna hit that first, and then yeah. I also had fun with just like the arcade shit. Like I was getting into it. You know, most of it's like rigged or whatever. And they also had a thing. I don't know if it was intentional, but I would like swipe my card, and then it would be like not like swipe again, and then I would be like, what the fuck, and I'd swipe it again, and then it would like eat my credits up, and then it would work, and I'd be like, come on. it was such horse shit.
Oh man,
it's still fun.
One thing I want to talk about is I got this new phone case, and look how thin my phone looks. And to all our listeners out there, $20 online. Get the new ringer.com phone case. It's pretty nice. I'm loving this case right here. Like, and it's not that expensive. Support the squad. We have t-shirts, sweatshirts. You can get a teddy bear. There's so many different options. You can customize it. You can put our logo here. You can put the logo here.
Yeah, Lepler's face.
Oh my god!
I need to get me one of those.
How has Lepler like mugs and shirts not sold out yet? Like that's a hot item.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
We'll drop the link, but yeah, you definitely need to get some merch.
Should we do some like dumb bullshit like the YouTubers do, where it's like, I'm Team Andrew, and like my shirts are all blue, and they have my face on it. Like I have like some logo, and like, and then we make all of our fans like we pit them against each other just to sell more merch.
Yeah, let's do it.
We should do that. We should get on that.
We got to develop more distinct personalities, but then we can
yeah, we do kind of just blend together.
Anyway, let's bring it to Frisbee, at least a little bit. Or
we should definitely edit a lot of that out.
The laser tag talk, at least Frisbee adjacent. Like, I played Frisbee Golf today for the first time.
Ooh.
It's weird throwing those little ones. It's weird. I didn't like it. It's like opposite. It's like, you know, with the Frisbee you want to like have some IO, but with those you want OI. Yeah, and you want to throw it like downward.
It's the opposite.
Yeah, it's I didn't like it.
Yeah, it wants to go like a Frisbee, like an Ultra Star naturally wants to go OI, right? And it's the opposite for the driver. That completely that throws my brain through a loop. Like I cannot throw a driver.
It took me like at least half the course to figure that out.
That's brutal.
But yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, the first thing on our agenda was to complain about being ulti, the Twitter account, because we've been doing a lot of that over the last 3 weeks since we last recorded.
Yeah, you want to kick that off, Sam? Yes, you sound like you have a.
I think we need to explain it to our social media list person, Kyle. What's going on?
Yeah, can you break down, because I've heard you guys talking about it on the podcast, but I mean I have a Twitter, but I don't I just use it to open tweets that get sent to me over text. So like,
so
I don't really know the drama.
So being ulti is this like social experiment account where like each week
self-titled
right. Each week a different for Frisbee person like will get the account because they like submit an application or whatever. So each week some white guy gets the account and just starts off like, hey, I'm a white guy from wherever. This is like my Frisbee, whatever, like this is my dog. And then over the next 7 days, they become like worse and worse. And sometimes they'll say something offensive by the end of the week. A couple weeks ago, someone posted a picture of their penis in a donut.
What? I did not think this was going there.
No,
nobody thought it was going there.
And everyone was like, "What the fuck?"
Is there like no filter for this at
all? They just
like,
give it to some.
They must
like,
have no
I guess
no
just, like,
standard.
Wants attention, so they just apply, and then they
So it's not even
Like-
like Frisbee players. It's just people that know this account exists. And
No,
then
it's like supposed to be Frisbee players.
it'll
So
be
it's supposed to
Yeah.
like range from different types of people, but like every single week it's some white guy who's either like, you know, in his 20s or whatever. It's like, I play Frisbee. I'm
It's the
like
same fucking dude every time. I
Yeah.
mean,
And then
Uh,
they just say something stupid and everyone gets mad at them and then like they hand it off to someone else and then the same thing happens. It's just like
Yeah.
I don't really have anything to say about it other than like it's so annoying.
I
And
feel like
then-
it's the idea is cool because like it already has a big platform. It has like 7,000 followers. So you can just like choose somebody and just like give them like a really big platform
Right.
for like a week. You know, like I think there's a lot of potential to do cool things with that. And it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, like two weeks ago
a
or
shit
so,
show.
there was like sandwiched in between these white guys, there was like a high school girl or something.
Yeah.
And she was like great. She was just like, oh, here's the song I'm listening to today. Like, here's why like I play mixed and here's what, you know, youth ultimate needs in my area. And it's like, okay, good job. And then like
Yeah.
a white guy gets it.
Yeah.
And then it goes bad every time.
like this week a white
mean-
guy got it and was like, here are my opinions. I think mixed ultimate is detrimental to the sport of Frisbee. And everyone's
Yeah.
like,
What?
what are you talking about?
It was I don't know the person, but it was like an 18-year-old kid, you know, and I read what he was trying to say, and
Yeah.
you know, I think he could have like maybe he was trying to make like a nuanced point or something, and I don't think Twitter there's a lot of room for nuance, and he didn't word it very well, and
No.
he also said he like
He
from the
walked it
responses
back.
he
Yeah.
said he changed his mind based on what people were saying. So
I
don't think-
yeah, I think his mistake was stating it so like matter of factly when it's clearly like an opinion that
Yeah.
he had some that he wanted to like, you know, hear
it was
feedback
it was
on.
it was a tough take, definitely, but you know, I don't want to like harp on someone who at least like said, you know what, I was totally wrong, you guys are right, you know,
Right,
you guys made
yeah.
some good points.
If anything,
and
we should talk about the dick guy.
Donut
Yeah, I
Dick
was
was
gonna say,
unexcusable.
anytime you have a social experiment that involves giving a platform to random people, like if you don't have like a very strict you know, protocol for who is able to have that platform, it's gonna end up with a penis in a donut.
Also, he didn't like get off the account. He was on the account for like in the next 4 days.
Yeah.
He just kept posting like normal stuff.
He just kept talking
Yeah.
about he's like I'm having, and then he made donuts the next night.
He
He
posted
made
a
like
picture
little
of
jokes
him.
about it and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And the funny thing too was like he had, before the donut dick picture, he made like a little story where he told a story about something, like it was actually like kind of a crazy story about how he had like a stroke or something, but he's just talking about how he worked at like a bagel shop. And then like after the donut dick picture, people were like, oh my God, like I hope no one was eating those bagels. The other thing I will say, like Kyle, like to your point, like if you don't vet people harder, you're just gonna get donut dick. Like there was one person who, like, it was like right when I made my Twitter account, someone who got it, like the moment like they announced the person and he made a couple posts like, hey, I'm the burp-a-derp, and then people were like, didn't you like corner a bunch of like youth ultimate players and like drunkenly scream at them and like traumatize a bunch of kids? Like, and he was like known for like doing something really shitty, like he was like a coach and like I don't know, like got drunk and like yelled at people, or like I don't remember what it was. I don't feel like I need to be super specific because I'm not saying the person's name and I don't even really remember. But like it was
I
like,
remember you. The whole day was like Twitter like discussing that, and I was like a whole
Yeah.
day of it.
yeah, and it was like, why did they let this person on in the first place? Like, what are we doing,
Mhm.
people? Like yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many people of color have been on it since I've been on Twitter, but I feel like it's such a great, like it has such a potential to have people talk about their experience with Frisbee, who's anyone other than a white man who has like the same, like anytime is the same dude. I'm like, it's like, okay, like we see your dog. Okay, you know, You're the captain of your whatever club team. Like, I don't care. Like, I really don't care. I don't follow the account, So if you tell me like, oh, if you don't care, don't follow, I don't follow it. It just shows up in my feed anyway. Like, I can't avoid.
Like something horrible happens, and then it's everything on Frisbee Twitter for the rest of the day is about it.
I know. I don't follow it, and I cannot get away from it. I can't be on Twitter and not see the tweets. So here I am. Like, it just it's tough. It's tough. Like,
while we're talking about Frisbee Twitter, so I want to talk about the Khalif tweet, but I also think there was a lot of like just Twitter bullying in the last week.
Is it always like this? Like,
I think last week specifically was like heightened, but like,
especially
do you think the Khalif tweet was warranted? Because he got a lot of attention for that.
Yeah, I mean, he was stirring the pot.
Kyle,
I think
for background,
what did he say?
Do you know who Khalif is?
Is he from Seattle? I feel like I had
he plays
ultimate
for
camp. Yeah, I think he was the camp counselor at the Seattle Youth.
Gotcha. Khalif Al-Salam tweeted saying, "Why do you all pay for Club Frisbee and pay for hotels and tournaments if you have no shot at making nationals?"
It wasn't exactly that. I feel like it'd be fair if we pulled up the tweet. That was a sentiment basically. Yeah. But I feel like it would be worthwhile to like read it. Or I don't know. I'm trying to log into Twitter and I'm on a new computer and it won't let me. But yeah, it was like what? Yeah, go ahead.
That was the gist of it, and it definitely read like a little condescending, and a lot of people like.
Oh yeah, it was douchey. It was a douchey tweet.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no running away from that. But also like he's like a world's player, and yeah, I don't know. It definitely read as like
he was genuinely asking.
Yeah,
he was like, "What's your motivation?" Yeah,
he had to know.
He had to know. I think he was just talking a little shit, but
I think people who are like at the top level of competition like don't really get the other like side of it. Like, like if you're not gonna be the best, what are you doing? Like, I feel like there's just like, it takes that mindset to be the best, but like they often have kind of like a blind spot for like the other reasons to play sports, even if you're not gonna like win every game and make nationals or whatever. But
yeah, that's very well said, Kyle. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we could like even leave the conversation as that. Like, I think you put it very well. I've kind of been someone who's been on both sides. I think especially when I was in college, I was like, super amped up and like took it really seriously and like was very competitive. And like now where I'm at with like in my playing career, I guess, like having been out of college a little bit, I just like I see how competitive people are and like going to all these tournaments and stuff, and I'm just like, I just don't want to do that. Like, I don't know, like, man, like I guess maybe that's kind of agreeing with Khalif in some ways. I'm like, that's a grind. Like, what are you doing that for? But like, yeah, it's like people just fucking love playing Frisbee, man. Like, it doesn't have to be more complicated than that, Maybe if I'm a world's player, I have to like eat a certain way and like my whole life revolves around like winning Frisbee, but that's definitely not the majority of people.
No,
yeah. Anyway, you guys have any other thoughts on that?
I guess that's all we got on that tweet. I think, I don't think it's worth getting like all up in arms about it, because I think a lot of the reaction was just like the wording, and people were like, you can't just say that. But
it was a douchey tweet. Like, let's be honest. But like, I'm also like not.
Douchey.
Yeah, I'm not mad. Like, I don't know. Like, I read it and I was like, huh, and then I just went on with my life. Like, I don't know.
You gotta like, if you actually do love playing for whatever reason, then to you your reason is valid. So like, even if it's douchey, it's like, well, I have my reason, so like I can explain myself. I don't need to explain myself to you.
Yeah, maybe someone read it and was like, hey, he's right, like I shouldn't be paying for this, and they'll just quit.
Yeah. I wonder how many people just read that and was like,
I'm done Frisbee.
I quit.
Put more in your 401k and everyone's better off.
Moving on, I guess we could talk a little bit about club regionals happened last weekend, and then I think one more regionals happened this weekend where Machine qualified. The only ones I was really following was I saw Ring didn't win, but they still made it. And then I was following the whatever the Texas, whatever the
Yeah,
Texas Bravo and double
Double
wide.
wide.
double wide. Yeah.
I know some of the Colorado players here. I talked to friends that I play pickup with that like are like on the teams that like didn't make it, and then my coworker Henry's plays for double wide, and like he was telling me going into it, he was like, yeah, it's us in Bravo. And then I talked to like my friends who played pickup afterwards, and they were like, yeah, they're way better than us. And I think besides them, like Bravo and double wide playing, all the other games were like 15-4, 15-3. And when
Yeah, that's
playing
how it goes.
wide.
Yeah, I feel like club is kind of tough to really even follow or care about until nationals.
It
Yeah.
was very hard
Yeah.
to follow. Like I was bored, and I guess last weekend I was like, oh, I wonder what's going on. And I was like, all you can do is just kind of refresh USAU. Like you can try your luck on Twitter, but that's all you got.
They're like Windows 95 ass like website. Like you have
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like it doesn't even say the team name, but it has the final score.
Yeah,
I
honestly,
think
the best thing that the AUDL has going for it is just their website user interface.
It's so
nice.
good.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's like not even that great, but like we're so used to
It's
USAU.
just USAU is so bad that it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just say thank you to both Andrew and Kyle, because you guys both had AUDL passes, and I knew the password to both you guys, so I would have one game on one TV and then one game on the other TV because I had both your accounts. It was wonderful.
That's funny.
honestly, I was just happy that other people got to read my amazing password because it was one of my best. So I won't say it on the pod, but like when Shay asked for if anyone had an account, and I was like, oh, I think I do. I like looked at my Google passwords like saved, and I was like, oh, I got a password for this. I was so excited to just like share that with the group because it was a fire password. So yeah.
That's funny, man. You're gonna have to tell us off the record.
I
Yeah,
I can resend the picture, but yeah, it's I don't know. I feel like I love my passwords. Like every time I like go to the Google passwords thing and like they show up and I'm like, I just get a little chuckle out of myself. Like
I can read it and then we can blur it or cut it out if you guys want me to.
Yeah, do it.
All right.
Yeah.
So the password is
That's so good.
Do you think someone at the AUDL like sees that? Like,
no, they can't see your password. It's all like encrypted, but yeah.
yeah. We hope. One hopes it is, but
Yeah. So
I
I was
swear,
glad I
if
got to-
someone
I was
if
glad I
someone
got to share
tried
that.
after listening to this, I bet someone could crack that. Man.
what's
But
next one?
let's see. Oh, Club Nationals is in like 3 weeks. That I'm actually excited for because I will be able to watch. It'll be
Where
good
is that
games.
like broadcast or stream?
Usually just on Ultiworld's site in their YouTube account. They did like a field pass thing where they had a bunch of games on it for some tournaments. So I hope they'll try that again. Yeah, it might have been Pro Champs or US Open or something.
Nice.
But anyway, we'll see how that goes.
They'll have some on ESPN too, right? Like I feel like the semis are usually on like
Yeah, I
ESPN
think so.
3 or something. Nice.
But
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, is there anything like who I feel like it's kind of a toss up actually. Like with the AUDL, it was like, well, New York is the best team. Who's gonna like come close to them? But like with this, it's like Pony lost to Truck, Ring lost. I mean, is Truck like kind of the favorite? I don't know. I kind of have like DC sports fan syndrome where like I just know like it's not gonna go
I
It
well.
might be.
I feel like Truck has to be the favorite at this point because like it's been
They
what
beat Pony.
two tournaments in a row that they've won, right? The last
Yeah,
two big ones.
they beat Pony and they beat US Open, which didn't have like a lot of the big dogs. Like I don't think like I like
Yeah, that
US
didn't
Open
have Pony or Ring.
US Open didn't have Pony or Ring, and Truck won, and it was like, okay, cool, but let's see when you play Pony, we'll see what happens. And then they beat Pony. So what more do you want from them?
Yeah.
They beat them convincingly too.
I think any of those three teams can really win, similar to like I guess not AUDL, because really Empire just kind of walked through everyone, I think.
Who
Yeah,
won?
but we didn't know they were gonna do that
I feel like
before the finals.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost
as far
last
as
year.
championship weekend goes, yeah.
Yeah. We thought the Carolina game would be closer.
Yeah. Who won Ring's region?
Oh yeah. I think Atlanta Chain, right?
Yes. Chain Lightning
Chain,
did.
that's right. I mean, the disrespect that we just did.
Yeah, Chain was in that final against Truck at US Open.
Damn.
No,
That
it
was
was
a good
Bravo.
game.
It was Bravo in the final.
Was that the semi? Maybe it was the semi then.
It might have been the semis. Yeah. It was definitely Bravo. It was Bravo
anyway.
in the final, yeah. Whatever. But yeah, okay, yeah. Chain's definitely a player. Chain's there. They got 5'11" Brett Holzmeyer locking it down in the deep space there.
Yeah.
Huge for them. Don't know why they're putting him deep if he's that short, but I'm not a coach for that team.
Yeah,
so
they beat Ring. I mean, we wouldn't have done that, but I mean, yeah.
there you go. It'll be cool. I think I was gonna say like there's no parity in club, like these tournaments are stupid, like it's 15-4 until nationals, but like I don't know, like in terms of like the top talent, I feel like it's a little bit more spread around. At least this season, it changes every year, but I think this year it's spread out kind of evenly. It'll be really interesting to see who comes out on top. So
Sure.
definitely be watching. We're not a club podcast, but we will be watching.
Yeah.
The thing about Frisbee in general, in terms of like competition and like parity, is that it's very regional, because teams obviously like don't draft people from around and have players like move to their cities for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But like all you have to do to like build a good club team or a good AUDL team is just like build up Frisbee talent, which I feel like is what Carolina does. But like,
yeah,
I literally anywhere could just like really invest into Frisbee, and like all you have to do is like find people who are good athletes and get them good at Frisbee. Like I feel like any city could build like a really strong foundation. It just takes people who are willing to like invest all their time into that. So
yeah, I think it's like you got to get like really elite players who like want to stick around and coach like a ton. And I think you've got your like Seattle, you got your DC area, you got your here and there. And I don't know, you got your pockets where there's like really good youth, and there's definitely kind of a pipeline of like if you've got good, like I'm sure the triangle, everyone talks about North Carolina and the triangle area, and yeah, like Ring's a power player every year for a reason. But yeah, I guess I can't really articulate. I don't want to go into like all my thoughts on like why some places have better ultimate than others, but it's definitely not just like people trying harder here and over there. But I'm not saying that's what you said, but
I think it's like the youth, like pipeline, basically. Like place like Seattle theoretically should have good teams, but I mean,
and somehow they kind of don't, like they do and they don't.
I mean,
they've historically had good teams, but like
for mixed, they've got probably like the two favorites for mixed nationals at least. But yeah, I do agree with you, Kyle. I think we see it in DC too. Like they had 3 teams in the DC area that were like sort of up there in the open like top 10 rankings with Vault and Truck and whatever that other one was.
Yeah,
I mean, them and forget their name, but and then Scandal on the women's side, and does DC do mix? I feel like they don't have a good mixed team.
Oh no, they had Space Heater that like made a deep
right.
Yeah,
I don't think that exists anymore though.
I don't think so. But when they decided to make a mixed team, like the first year, they were like in the They at least made the semis, didn't they, or some shit like that? They made the
some
bracket.
noise, yeah.
Easily made the bracket. I can't remember what it was, but yeah.
I think mixed might be my favorite, like as like an entertainment like standpoint, like type of ultimate. Because there's just so many different variables. It's like, oh, a guy is marking a guy, and then like the women, and you get to see totally different styles of frisbee, like in any sort of game. Like watching the World's games, like that was so much fun. So I think that's what I'm most excited for come nationals.
Yeah, I thought I completely like disagree with what the being ulti dude said about how it's not good for the growth. Because I remember like when I was getting into frisbee, I was like, wait a second, like, you know, boys and girls are playing on the same field at the same time, and it's the same like game. And I was like, yeah, I was like, there is no other sport that I could play right now at my school that where that's like possible, you know. I was like, that's so cool. Like that's so, and it just works, and it's just like awesome. And I think that's a huge draw. It's like, what other sport offers that? So yeah, I don't know. I don't need to get into like what his like argument was, I guess, but like I think that's super cool for that Ultimate has that. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
The question is, do you want to grow the sport by doing what other major sports do and like trying to copy that model, or do you grow the sport by offering an alternative and a different way of doing sports that maybe is a little less toxic, I guess?
Right.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I feel like that's also what drew me to frisbee. Like I started playing, I don't know, third grade or something, and I liked playing mixed. Like I didn't even know it was called that back then. It was just frisbee, but
Yeah.
and I was definitely bummed like in high school when we went to like basically divided for most of the season. So I don't know. I definitely enjoyed it more playing, and I felt like it was kind of part of the sport. And I don't know. There's just like more spirit of the game when you're playing mix, and I think probably both women's and men's are less spirited when they're separated. But
for sure.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter make or say that they think that like pro ultimate should be mixed, since that's like kind of what you're saying, like that's what they view as like the calling card of ultimate. So if we're gonna legitimize instead of diverting, having like mix for people like mix, and then doing the AUDL, like
I
trying
would
to be like a
love
real
that.
sports league, like
I
yeah,
would
like
love.
put it
Oh my
together.
god. Yeah, like I mean, you just combine the WUL, the PUL, and the AUDL, make it a mix one like ultimate mixed pro league. Holy shit, that would be awesome. I
Yeah,
mean,
that'd be really cool.
maybe I think like a lot of women matching players like rightfully like avoid mix sometimes. I think I remember like this is like old, but I remember years ago seeing someone tried to do like a study on women getting looked off in mixed ultimate, and like tried to prove like statistically how they were looked off at like a significantly higher rate. And I think there was like kind of conversation on like how the data was taken, and like I don't know if it like super proved it, but like I just think anecdotally like we can all agree that like it's probably, you see like people taking looks away from women matching players, and looking them off. Like I think we've all seen something like that happen before. So I don't like it's easy for us to say like this should happen, they should make like a mixed pro league, and that's the but maybe definitely would need to like have more input from non people like us.
Yeah,
But personally, as like a fan, as someone who's into ultimate,
it'd be
I
super
think
cool. Yeah,
that is such a cool idea. I don't remember which one of y'all said that first, but holy shit, it was
I was
Kyle.
just copying. I was
Sam.
just copying people on Twitter, but
Yeah, that would be so sick, man. I would watch that. I would watch that in a heartbeat. I would love to cover that and talk about it on a podcast.
Totally. Speaking of pro frisbee, as we're a pro frisbee podcast, the last two things on our agenda are both related, but they're both pretty vague because we don't really have a lot to say about them. The owners meeting is happening right now, which we've seen stuff on Twitter about it, but don't really know what's going on. Would have appreciated an invitation for sure. And then
Snubs, man. What
yeah.
the hell? Come on, guys.
And then there's
we have
All-Star
ideas. Listen to
Weekend.
us.
Yeah, there's All-Star Weekend, so there's still time to invite us to that. That's in November in Oregon, right? Oh yes, in Oregon, because they're gonna play at the
Timbers.
The Timber. Yeah, that's
We
so
should get a
cool.
media vote on like who's an all-star.
Yeah, well, we can say that now if we want. We got some time.
Should we just go and then you guys show up with your like press passes that you had made, and then we just try to get in?
Yeah.
If we just went, I'm sure they would, welcome
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. When
Do you
I
guys
mean,
know the? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like at every like AUDL thing we've been to, like me at Championship Weekend, you guys going to the Empire Party, like Joe going to the Empire game, like everyone's welcomed us with like open arms. So if we went to All-Star Weekend, we could probably get up to some shit. Like I don't know if we could announce a game. That's kind of our dream right now. AUDL, we want to announce a game. I think we do a good job, but we could totally just like be on the field, hang out with players, and just fuck around.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's make it happen.
Kyle, you were saying?
Oh, I was just asking if you know the like what's the selection process for All-Star Weekend and
No
No
idea.
idea.
okay, cool. All right.
I don't know
Glad
if they even
no
say,
clue.
or maybe they're deciding at the owners' meeting right now. But
No, they've already made they haven't announced it, but like didn't Cam Brock tweet like it's a secret, but also I'm an all-star. Thank you, everybody. Like I think they're letting
If you lead
that's
the league
probably
in
just
goals,
him. That's probably
Yeah.
just him being cocky.
he could just say I'm an all-star. Thanks. I'm so honored, and everyone would just have to go along with it. Like
Yeah,
he's Cam
for
Brock.
he led the league in goals this year. Yeah, if he's not an all-star, I don't know.
Yeah, but no, he made a tweet. I don't know if you guys saw it, but he was like, I've
I
been
don't
told.
know.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been told. Interesting.
Yeah, he was like,
I think Sasha Vogel should be an all-star.
Oh my
Easily.
god. I mean, like,
Led
who
the
else on
league
that
in
team?
hockey assist percentage per throw, right?
In that one game.
In that one game.
Do they have to have like a player per team at least, or can they just like
Probably not.
I don't know. There's not that many teams, I guess, but like that's how they do it in
I'm sure it's
baseball.
like whoever wants to come can come though, because they have like a ton of events
Yeah.
going on and stuff.
Oh my god, we should go.
Yeah, that'd be so.
The thing
fun.
is, I've looked into flights. Like I don't know. When we got invited to the New York Empire thing, I looked into flights and I could have flown to New York. Like I couldn't. I had other shit going on, but I could have flown for like $50. And then I looked into flights to Portland, and it's like $600 round trip. Like
Ooh.
holy shit.
So we need them to cover it, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Or
we'll make
buy
it
a lot of
ADL.
merch.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're still in the red, everyone. So please buy the merch. We figured out how we're gonna split it up, but we haven't got enough profits to really. And also,
Yeah.
I am part of the profits because again, new phone cases are sick. Just gonna reiterate
that is tight. I need to get
Beautiful.
shirt. I need to get myself the Lepler line.
Yeah, I love the tie-dye Lepler face shirt.
Yeah, that's the best one. I think that's what I'm gonna get.
I'm gonna get that
Or
too.
I might have already gotten it. I don't actually remember.
that.
If you wear it around Boston, someone might recognize them.
Yeah.
It is a legit fashion statement. Like if I saw that in like a designer like store, I wouldn't question it. I would go, oh, huh, that's artistic,
Kyle's walking around Boston with a Lepler shirt on, and some like guy who's like seen him on like college football ESPN3 is just like, is that Evan Lepler on your shirt?
Some big like D3 basketball fan.
I'll just finish chugging my beer, throw it on the ground, and go Lepler.
We should find out where he lives and send him one.
Totally.
Lepler, if you're listening, like DM us your address.
Drop your Addy, yeah.
We'll send you a shirt.
Drop Addy.
Yeah, Addy.
We'll send you all the merch.
Man.
Cool. What was it? So we had one more thing on the docket.
Think we
Is there
covered
any? anything else about All-Star Game we wanted to say?
Not until they invite us. We're gonna withhold our content.
Yeah, I will say
until they invite us.
I want, like, if we go there and we get hooked up with, like, access, like, I would love to bring a camera, do like a vlog situation, make a bunch of content. I would love to, like, just make stuff for it and get more people to see it, because I mean the AUDL is awesome, and I think it, like, got to see the best players playing. Like, I want to talk about it, and whoever's listening, whoever needs to, Matt, I don't know, I don't want to call anyone out, but yeah. we're very stoked and very ready to do something cool. So
I think our last thing on the docket is, now that the AUDL season is over, it's really the official Sam Butler AUDL Rookie of the Year 2023 campaign. I think that starts right now.
yes,
we gotta start early.
I don't know if he's making a team, but
no, I've got to hit a couple cities just in case,
Sam, if you can throw a frisbee at a soccer goal, imagine you throwing a frisbee to Ryan Oscar. I mean,
dude, I know.
Well,
I asked him. I saw on his Instagram he's wearing those, those big leg like therapy boots, and I was like, "Can I try those?" And he was like, "Yeah, anytime." So at least I'll be able to recover like an elite athlete.
God, you're gonna be friends with Oscar and Benyat and leave us so behind, and you're gonna be so cool.
Sam's gonna start a new podcast with them.
A competing podcast. It's gonna have so many more views if it has Benyat on
it. Yeah, I'm not open.
I'm closed.
Yeah.
We'll sue your ass so hard, Sam.
Oh man.
I guess that's it. Closing thoughts.
Oh, do you guys want to announce the next podcast I'll be on?
Yeah, I guess if we announce it, we have to do it.
Well, we're doing it. Well, okay, so if the Mariners have a home game this Friday, I'm gonna probably go, like, fly home to Seattle and go to that. But
fuck yeah,
I have Monday off, so I would probably fly out that day. So I'd either be here if they don't have a home game, or I'd be in Seattle if they do have a home game. But I'm definitely pumped to do it. So
yeah, you want to talk about the pod, Kyle?
Yeah, so the pod's gonna be a tier list of the AUDL logos. So we're ranking them in terms of their design choices. And I don't know, it's, we'll consider different factors, but I think we'll talk about each team. We'll put them in the tier list, and then the other thing I wanted to do is kind of revamp all the logos, and kind of create new logos for each team. And I think they'll be very classy. Very. I intend. I don't know. Do you guys think I should create them live, like while we're making the podcast, or should I make them ahead of time?
I think ahead of time, because it might, if we do it live, it might be like a 3-hour podcast. This isn't terrible.
I think that's the best idea. Okay, so I'll work on those this week. I've got some ideas for some of the teams already. I know what direction I want to go with theirs. There's gonna be a lot of Microsoft Paint, and it's gonna be a good.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm open.
I'm open.
Thanks for coming, Kyle.
Yeah, thanks
for no problem. Glad to drop in. Oh, Muppets. My Muppet movie.
Mm-hmm.
I had 2 ideas. One is Hot Fuzz. So if, for those who haven't seen it, Simon Pegg is playing this like London cop that gets sent out to the country because he's too good of a cop. He's making the rest of the cops look bad. So they send him out to the countryside, to this village, and things go fucking insane there. I don't want to spoil it too much, but my idea would be that everyone in London, including Simon Pegg, is a human, but everyone in the village is a Muppet. So like it's just like him and the Village's Muppets. So I think that'd be pretty good. The other idea I had was this movie called Black Bear with Aubrey Plaza. Basically, it's got like 2 acts. The first one's like fairly straightforward story, and then the second one is kind of like an evolution of that story. And the idea, this is a major spoiler by the way, is that she's like writing the stories herself, and the black bear is like writer's block that comes in. And so my idea would just be to tack on a third act at the end of it that's like an even more convoluted version of the second part of the story, but it's like Muppets, and it's like super trippy, and like she's a human in the story, but at the end of it, she looks at the camera, and then there's a shot of a mirror, and she's a Muppet in the mirror. So was she a Muppet writing the story the whole time?
That's good.
I don't know. It's a good movie, so highly recommend watching it. I know I just spoiled the entire plot, but if you watch it, you'll get where I'm going. And I could probably go on for like a half hour with my full pitch for that, but
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll need to bring you on with the Empire coaches sometime to really dig into the Muppets.
Kyle, you and Charlie and Anthony and Nunez could just talk for hours on things. Like you guys
I'm sure.
would be great.
Yeah, you guys keep talking about how your podcasts are going too long. And I think, it's just you. Yeah, like cut it off. But those coaches, I could have watched them talk for like 5 hours. Like they were great.
That's sick. Yeah, we'll have to have them back on. They've been so cool, like since they've been on too. Like like Nunez has been plugging our merch. Like
yeah, he wore our shirt at a tournament. Josh Lane texted me, he was like, Nunez is here, and he was wearing your guys' t-shirt.
That's
so like, yes.
That's so cool. Those guys are awesome. Much love to all the friends of the pod. Yeah, Jordan Kerr DM'd me too. He was like he screenshotted a tweet that I had like months ago, and he was like, I still look at this tweet. It's very funny. I was like, holy shit. I was like walking home, like at the end of the night. I just said goodbye to my friend, and he was moving out of town. I saw that, and I was like, it hit me in the feels there. But yeah, we got the best friends of the pod.
Did you get Ben Yacht his shirt at the championship party?
Yep, we gave Ben Yacht his shirt. We gave Ben a trophy to give to Ryan Osgar to be it for his MVP. We can flash.
You guys got him. You guys have a picture of it. Did I miss the
picture too? Yeah, I'll put it up right now. It's like it's one of those Jesus candles, but we glued his face onto it.
Did we tweet this?
I don't think we did.
Oh, that's missed opportunity.
And then we gave John Randolph a can of beans.
Nice.
Well, you actually did?
Yeah.
What type of beans?
What did he say?
They were black beans. He was like, oh, I like this brand. We're like, hell yeah. We gave Nunez a loaf of rye bread. We gave Charlie some beard balm, and he loved it. Yeah, there we go.
I saw Nunez tweet. He was like, "Thanks, guys." And I was like, "Bread," and I was like, well, "What?"
Yeah, we got him a loaf of rye bread. He loved it. Trying to think. We got something for Brownlee, but we were too scared to give it to him.
What?
It was like a we got it from CVS. It was like a little mini vacuum that you like USB plug into your computer, and then you like vacuum your keyboard.
Wait, that's amazing.
Why did you
would have loved that?
I don't know. It felt weird.
That would have been so
And
funny.
the other shit wasn't weird.
Well, the other shit was also weird, but it was like we were less intimidated by that group.
Yeah, I understand the intimidation thing, but I think Marquez would have laughed so hard on that.
Yeah. Well, next time. All-Star weekend.
Yeah. All right. I guess we'll wrap it up here.
Marquez is listening right now. He's like, "What the fuck, guys?"
Like my keyboard's
Marquez, it was
my
$5.
keyboard's filthy.
Hey, Marquez, if you want the vacuum, you gotta come on the pod.
Balls in your court. Yeah. We play hardball over here.
Man.
Oh man. All right. Well, hey, good pod.
Good pod, everyone.